Hi all, welcome to JS for everyone. Today we are going to learn about what is JavaScript. JavaScript is a high-level interpreted programming language. It has several characteristics. It is dynamic, weakly tagged, prototype-based, single-threaded language. And initially JavaScript was created as a client-side language for browsers, but now JavaScript is used in backend as well as in mobile app development. Let's spend some time to understand the different characteristics of JavaScript because it's important to understand the characteristics of JavaScript so that you can know very well understand how it works internally. So the first characteristics we are going to learn about is a dynamic programming language. In order to understand it, let's find the difference between static as well as dynamic programming language. So some of the operations that are possible for static programming language during compilation time, those operations are possible for dynamic programming languages during runtime. So the difference is during compilation time, those operations happens in static programming language. But in dynamic programming language, those operation happens in runtime. So the execution time is different during compilation time and runtime. So let's understand this by a small example. Like I have a variable str is equal to name of type string, and during the execution of the JavaScript program, what I'm doing is like I'm trying to change the value of the variable to 1000 of type number. So I'm just completely changing the data type of the variable from string to number. So if it is a static programming language, it is not possible because we are completely changing the data type of a variable from one type to another. Since JavaScript is a dynamic programming language, it is completely possible. This gives you a fair understanding of what is dynamic programming language and why JavaScript is called dynamic programming language. Okay, the second characteristic which we are going to learn about is a weakly typed language. So when we are assigning a value to a variable in JavaScript, so we don't specify a data type explicitly. Internally, the interpreter will understand the data type of the variable based on the value on runtime. Now we have a small example here where we have two variables. One is a, which holds value 7 of type number, and another variable b, which holds value 7 of type string. So the important is a holds type of number and b holds type of string. Now I try to add these two different variables to a third variable called c. C is equal to a plus b. So ideally in strongly typed languages like Java, this is not at all possible because we are trying to do manipulations on different variables of different data types. But since JavaScript is a weakly typed language, this is possible. So what it will do is it will give you a result of 77 of type string. What is happening is like it converts a is equal to 7, the string the number 7 to a string 7, and now it has two strings a and b. So it will concatenate these two and return you a new string which is 77. So this gives you a fair understanding of why JavaScript is weakly typed language. The third characteristics which we are going to understand is prototype based language. Inheritance in JavaScript works differently when you compare it with other programming, traditional programming languages like Java. The parent to child relationship between the objects is based on the reference to the parent child. Let's consider this small example where we have two constructor. One is a vehicle constructor, another one is a car constructor. And what I'm doing is like the vehicle constructor accepts one property with type, and the second constructor car, which accepts three properties, which are color, model, and company. So I try to create a new object for vehicle, which is vehicle is equal to new vehicle of four-wheeler. It's a four-wheeler vehicle. Okay. This part is very important where I'm saying car.prototype is equal to vehicle. I'm assigning the vehicle reference, the vehicle object reference to the prototype of the car constructor. So this gives a link between the car and the vehicle. So here car is going to act as a child object and vehicle is going to act as a parent object. Now let's create a new car object where car is equal to new car of red Tata and Tigor, which is like the color, company, and model. When I try to console a car.type, if you see closely here, car doesn't have a type property at all, but it will still return four-wheeler because it has a reference to the parent vehicle. So when I say car.type, it goes and looks into the car or constructor. It doesn't have type, so it will go to the vehicle object, vehicle constructor, and prototype. It will return the value four-wheeler. Let's copy this code and try to run it in developer console. This gives you a fair understanding of how things works in JavaScript, that too, in terms of inheritance. Let's copy paste it here. Okay, so now it gives you car type is four-wheeler. Let's print this car object. If you see here, the proto underscore underscore proto underscore underscore, it points to vehicle object, which is four-wheeler. So this is how the parent to child relationship works in JavaScript. Okay, the final characteristic which we are going to learn is a single-threaded language. JavaScript is a single-threaded language, means that at any given point of time, JavaScript can execute only one instruction at a time. We have a call stack here, right? Which will have all the methods which has to be executed, and something called event loop is there. So this event loop is very important. What we'll do is every time when it is free, it goes and looks up for the call stack. Is there any instruction to execute is there or not? If it has to execute some method, it will take that method and start executing it. So at any given point of time, it will execute only one method. That's why it is called single-threaded programming language. Cool. So now you have very good understanding of different characteristics of JavaScript, right? Now let's understand what is ECMA standard. So JavaScript is used in different browsers as in different interpreters, right? So it was necessary to maintain a standard across different browsers. That's why ECMA International, an organization, created a standard called ECMAScript. So we have several versions of JavaScript like ES5, ES6, ES7, and ES5 is a browser understandable version, and we'll be coding in ES6 and ES7. That will be transpiled to ES5 using a tool called Babel. So we'll know about Babel in the later videos, but now just understand that JavaScript has several versions like ES5 to ES8, and we'll be coding in ES6 and ES7, but that will be transpiled to ES5. So now let's look into some of the awesome features of ES6 when compared to ES5. So these are all some of the important features of ES6. Like it has class keyword, arrow functions, and it has constant let, which gives you a powerful block scope, and then spread operator, default parameters for functions, exporting a module, promises. So we are not going to deeper into these concepts, because I'll be posting it in a separate video for this for each and every features of ES6. But right now, just have a fair understanding that ES6 has a lot of cool features when compared to ES5. That's why ES6 is powerful. And especially for the beginners, if you have no assumption that JavaScript is somewhat related to Java, that's not at all true. JavaScript and Java are not at all related. Apart from the name Java inside the JavaScript, there's nothing similar between them. The area where it is working is completely different. In the recent years, JavaScript's popularity has grown leaps and bounds. If you see this slide, this gives you an understanding of how the number of open pull requests in GitHub when it compared with other programming languages like Python, Java, Ruby. In GitHub, it's leading in a very big margin. So which it means that JavaScript is really active. A lot of people are coding in JavaScript. The community is really active. So I mean, if you are a beginner and if you want to learn about JavaScript, obviously it's a very must and necessary language to learn. And also you have other reasons to learn as well. So that we will be discussing it in the next slide, which is called where it is used. So we have right now understood about what is JavaScript and what are the characteristics of JavaScript, but so we have to know about where JavaScript used, right? The answer for this question is JavaScript is used everywhere, like from front-end development to back-end development, as well as in mobile app development. In front-end development, you can write it in plain JavaScript, or else you can use some of the famous and awesome libraries like frameworks like React, Vue, or Angular. In backend, we use Node.js as a runtime to write web APIs, and we'll be using React Native for mobile app development. So React Native is a very famous and awesome framework to write mobile apps, that too natively, in both iOS as well as in Android. So it gives a lot of advantages as well. Cool. So if you are a beginner, then obviously to learn about JavaScript, the decision to learn about JavaScript is a right thing, because if you learn one language, you can write any kind of application. That's it, guys. In this video, we learned about what is JavaScript and what are the different characteristics of JavaScript. In the upcoming videos, you'll be learning about how to set up the environment in JavaScript, to start coding in JavaScript, as well as we'll be start getting into the concepts of JavaScript. Thanks a lot for watching. If you really like the video, give a thumbs up. If you have any doubts or if you want to share a feedback, you can always use the comment section below, and also press that subscribe button as well as the bell icon, so that you'll get notified whenever I'm pushing a new video. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.